While his state burns and families lose everything, California's governor just pulled off the most brazen power grab in modern history. He's not helping fire victims rebuild. He's actually blocking them. He's not fixing the disaster that is Los Angeles. He's rigging elections. What Gavin Newsom just signed into law will guarantee Democrat control of Congress for decades, and he's not even trying to hide it. He's actually now openly threatening violence against conservatives, promising to punch MAGA Republicans in the mouth. Meanwhile, red state governors are showing what real leadership looks like, flying into California to protect their citizens from blue state chaos. The contrast could not be clearer, and what happens next will determine the future of free elections in America. So keep on watching. So Newsom's rigging democracy while disaster victims can't even rebuild their homes. Speaking of building protection, what would you do if the stores were empty tomorrow? Would you be ready? That's why I trust My Patriot Supply. Right now, save $100 on their 3-month emergency food kit. Over 2,000 calories daily for 90 days. Real meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, snacks, not freeze-dried mush. Everything's packed in sturdy buckets, last 25 years, made right here in the good old US of A. No MSG, no junk, just food that you can count on. And they've got fast and free shipping, 30-day returns, even disaster replacement guarantee. Who else does that? America needs heroes. When things fall apart, your family eats 3 delicious meals daily because you prepared. Don't wait. Visit preparewithgary.com right now. Get prepared, get peace of mind. And now back to Newsom's corruption. So here is the state of Gavin Newsom's California. A man with his pants on, showering his backside with a fire hose, at a fire hydrant. I'm not sure, is this how they take showers in California? At least in, that's what it appears. Absolutely bizarre. I don't know who's taking this video, but I think you've seen enough. Before we get to California, let's go to Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis has announced that deportations will continue at Alligator Alcatraz after an activist judge ordered they start shutting the facility down.
This was pre-detainee processing center down in South Florida at Alligator Alcatraz. I just want to say this was not something that was unexpected. This is a judge that was not going to give us a fair shake. This was preordained. Very much an activist judge that is trying to do policy from the bench. This is not going to deter us. We're going to continue working on the deportations, advancing that mission. We knew that this would be something that would likely happen, and we will respond accordingly. That have already been ordered to be removed by the current system, and yet the previous administration didn't want to do anything about it. We're now in this position where we're leading the state efforts to help the Trump administration actually enforce the law and actually remove these illegal aliens from not just Florida, but from our country. And that's something that we didn't have for 4 years. And now that's something that we're absolutely on board with making sure happens going forward. And so we're not going to be deterred. We're totally in the right on this. But I would also note, because of the success of Alligator Alcatraz, there's demand for more. So I did announce that we are going to be opening another facility right outside of Jacksonville in Baker County, and we've called that the Deportation Depot. And so that is something that will be able to hold another 2,000. There's an airport close by, and so you have the processing and then the removal, detainee processing.
Deportation Depot. Did you hear about this? We reported on it briefly yesterday about President Trump painting the border wall black. The President of the United States in the Oval Office giving us some more background on that.
Plank and everything. I want to thank Christy for another reason. I said to her 2 weeks ago, I said, Christy, do me a favor. I built hundreds of miles of wall. I built the same wall that the Border Patrol asked me to build. It wasn't my first choice. I wanted to do concrete plank and everything nice, but you wouldn't have been able to see through it. So I had Border Patrol in, and they tested everything else. And we gave them steel wall, high-grade steel, very hard to cut. that we gave inside that is 9,000-pound concrete, which is a very tough concrete. Inside that is rebar, a big fat piece of rebar. So you have all different materials that are very hard to cut, and you need different instruments to cut each one. And I said, Christy, we got to get a coat of paint on it. And I didn't know she was listening, but I said, we got to get a coat of paint, and it should be black, because black makes the steel very hot. It's untouchable. You could fry an egg on it. And if you got a good black, flat paint, it would look beautiful. It will preserve it from rust. And that was it. And I gave it to her along with 30 other things, and she's done such a good job on the border with Tom Homan and the group. Tom Homan's a fantastic guy, what the job he does and the way they work together. So I turned on last night and I see Christie's painting the wall. And it looked beautiful, by the way, when that paint went over there.
And it's hot.
It's hot.
Yes, it is.
It's hot. If it's white, it's not hot. If it's black, it's going to be very hard to climb that sucker. It's not going to be easy. But it's black and a high quality black. You know, it really looked good.
Yeah, we got
Is
the
that going to
paint
be a
you told us
two-coat
to.
job or a one-coat?
No, just one coat.
One coat.
We
Good.
used the paint you told me to buy.
Yep. The two-coat will take place in 3 years from now. Right? We'll do the second coat. But it looks beautiful. But thank you very much. I didn't know you were listening to that, because we talked about 7 different subjects, and all of a sudden I see her out there painting with a lot of painters and everything else. But it was a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah.
I want to thank.
Now, where is Gavin Newsom? Check this out. Here is a billboard in California congratulating Newsom. Highest gas prices in America. In California. Congratulations. I want to get to that clip. Where is the clip? I know we have it here. Where is the clip of Gavin Newsom? I know we have it. Anyway, let's while we get that for you, Gavin Newsom signs legislation to gerrymander California for 5+ Democrat seats before 2026 midterm, now requiring a special election.
Let me do a quick photo.
Yeah.
Get the maps. Get that done. And we'll establish the formality with the special election proclamation, which will establish November 4th, this formal special. And we'll be transitioning just nearby, and we'll have a chance to take all your questions.
Here's the clip of him talking. Gavin Newsom calling for violence against Republicans.
Different path. I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth. I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities.
Wow. That's the state of the Democrat Party. Tom Homan, though, he is pissed, announcing a massive flood of ICE raids in every sanctuary city.
To the soul when you walk. I visited the officer last night. Of course, he was heavily sedated, so I didn't have words with him, but I did talk to his family. They're devastated. It's just a shock to the soul when you walk in and see that young man laying there. Secretary said it, Rodney said it, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. Hard stop. I've been doing this since 1984. I've never seen a situation where I see it today. New York City, how many times do you want to see NYPD attacked by illegal alien criminals in this city? Now a federal officer. How many citizens in this city have been attacked by illegal aliens in this city? You see the polls. Everybody agrees we should be arresting public safety threat illegal aliens, but you got a city council here that locked us out of Rikers Island. Are you kidding me? So an illegal alien in Rikers Island we can't talk to, we don't have access to. That makes the city unsafe. Every sanctuary city is unsafe. I'll say it again, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I'm going to work very hard with Secretary Newsom to keep President Trump's promise and his commitment several weeks ago that sanctuary cities are now our priority. We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Anything can happen on a street arrest. So what we're going to do, we're going to have more agents in New York City to look for that bad guy. So sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want, more agents in the community and more agents in the work site. If we can't arrest that bad guy in the safety and security of the county jail, then we'll arrest him in the community, and we'll arrest him in the jail. And when we arrest him in the community, if he's with others that are in the country illegally, they're coming too. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. President Trump is not going to tolerate it. And I'll work every day with Secretary Newsom to make sure we get as many bad guys, illegal aliens out of this country that we can. And I want to say one more thing. I'm sick and tired of reading in the media every day how ICE is not doing what the Trump administration has promised, that we're not arresting criminals, that most of the people we're arresting are not criminals. I look at the numbers every day. The numbers I looked at the other day, 130,000 arrests and 90,000 criminals. Do the math, that's 70%. And who are the others? Others are those who have final orders, who had due process at great taxpayer expense. A federal judge ordered them removed, so ICE's job is to remove them. Who are the rest of the people? National security threats. Under Secretary Newsom's leadership, they've arrested several hundred Iranian nationals. National security threats. They may not have a criminal conviction, but they need to be detained. They need to be arrested and taken off the streets of this country. Then I read another story about how most people in ICE detention aren't criminals. Now the story is, how bad of a criminal they have to be. I saw a story the other day. Only 1% of the illegal aliens removed were murderers. Are you kidding me? Being in the country illegally is not illegal anymore? You got to commit a murder to be deported? If you look at ICE detention, I'll say it again. Look at detention. Who's in detention? I looked at the numbers this morning. A majority are criminals, for criminal history. Who are the rest? Final order cases, who are judge ordered removed. The others are expedited removal. By federal statute, demands they be detained. So for the media out there, let's try telling the truth about the men and women of ICE and the men and women of the Border Patrol. I wore that uniform. I was an ICE agent. These are the finest men and women in this country that put their lives.
We have some more here. This is 8 hours ago. A visibly irritated Gavin Newsom begins to stammer and sway from side to side when he can't answer a simple question about Speaker Robert Rivera's and Majority Leader Mike McGuire drawing themselves congressional seats amongst Newsom's redistricting scheme.
Answer questions from who are responsible for these maps. It's ultimately Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas and Senate Pro Tem Mike McGuire. They are not here to answer our questions about ultimately these maps. I know, I'd love to. This is the second time they haven't shown up when a ballot measure is placed on the ballot by the legislature to answer questions from reporters. My question is, if those two end up running for Congress after this, Ashley, how could that impact this campaign? How could that impact this campaign? I mean, considering voters did not want politicians drawing lines for themselves.
You have to ask them. You have to ask them.
To ask them. And of course, who can remember this moment? Gavin Newsom would appreciate it if you didn't retweet this video of him apologizing for getting caught sleeping with his campaign manager's wife.
Deeply sorry. Thank you all for coming here in short notice. Want to make it clear that everything you've heard and read is true. And I am deeply sorry about that. I've hurt someone I care deeply about, Alex Turk, his friends and family. And that is something that I have to live with and something that I am deeply sorry for. I am also sorry that I've let the people of San Francisco down. They expect a lot of their mayor, and my personal lapse of judgment aside, I am committed to restoring their trust and confidence.
Yeah, man. Mr. French Laundry. Let's get some reaction on that punch MAGA in the mouth statement.
Can you believe California Governor Gavin Newsom said he wants to punch MAGA in the face? Can you believe that? Newsom is angry because Texas gave Republicans 5 more House seats. Now, Newsom wants to change California's map to put more 5 seats for Democrats. But here's the problem. Newsom said this and it was fine. There is no media trial, no trolling. Imagine Donald Trump said something like that for someone or a group of people. The entire media would break down and people will troll him and people will try to impeach him. This is the double standard. Democrats always does this, push violence, and no one says anything. If you want to know more, read this article and you will know more. Thanks.
Gavin Newsom attacking Donald Trump on X. That's hilarious. The memes write themselves. And, of course, so does this. All right, if you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. This is how tyranny works in real time. Newsom just gerrymandered 5 more Democrat congressional districts while Los Angeles burns and families can't rebuild. California already has a 43-9 Democrat advantage in Congress. Now he wants a 48-4. He's literally stealing representation from half the state while threatening to punch conservatives in the mouth. Trump called him out perfectly. Newsom's an incompetent guy with a good line of BS. While Florida's lieutenant governor flies to California to protect Floridians from blue state failures, Newsom plays political games with people's lives. He won't let fire victims rebuild, but has time to rig elections. This is what one-party rule looks like. Corruption, incompetence, and contempt for citizens. So here's my question. Should the federal government intervene when states basically gerrymander districts? Yes or no? Let me hear it. Let's have a conversation about it. And grab your American Badass gear from our shop to show the world where you stand.